I want to thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I raise here to register and request the government to intervene in the way Dr. Kizza Besigye is being treated in New Zealand. We have visited him. At least those of us who belong to the same side with him, we have talked to him, taken food. Now that right has been taken away by the prisons authority. But also when you visit him, last time I was there with Honorable Mulengera, Honorable Kampala, they have now put a glass, so he stands behind some glass and there is a microphone. You can't even be sure that you are speaking to him. We don't know why these conditions, because Dr. Besigye is the most imprisoned person under this government. This is the first time that he is being treated like this. What is worrying us, Mr. Speaker, even more, when you deny people food of their choice, because food is also medicine. We have had colleagues who live Ruzira, including Besigye's brother, and as soon as they leave, they die. Dr. Chibun and others. We don't know whether it is deliberate that when Dr. Besigye, if he ever leaves, he leaves when his life has been really affected. More worrying, the CDF, General Moses Kainerugaba, announced that Dr. Besigye will be hanged. Mr. Speaker, I did not take the statements of General Moses seriously, but now I do. Why? He said they will go and attack Kenya, it will be Nairobi. Actually, I thought it was a joke. But Dr. Besigye was kidnapped from Nairobi. We had some other colleagues, 36, kidnapped from Kisumu. For me, I don't need any further evidence that actually they attacked Nairobi and took it over long ago. When the other day he called General Yeruweru a buffoon, I kept asking myself, did he ever do something buffoonary for General Moses to begin calling him a buffoon? And for UPDF officers who are here, you must be very careful with what you do. I kept asking, what has he done? My memory took me to Kasese, where he commanded the attack on Rubiri. And I said, is that what Muhoozi was referring to as buffoonery? So I am using that as an illustration to say I take his statement because our colleague needs protection. He said his New Year resolution includes arresting General Yeruweru. I am happy General Yeruweru is here, he hasn't yet been arrested. So, Mr. Speaker, I am saying I take his statements. The other day he said he will arrest the Committee on Defense. Those crowns cannot summon me. And I saw them seated comfortably. The guy has refused to come. So I now take his statement serious. So when he says he wants to hang Dr. Kizza Besigye in May, he said he has actually now shifted it. I don't know whether starving him in Ruzira becomes part of the process, but I want to ask government to tell us. Dr. Besigye was generous. He treated President M7 when they were fighting in Ruwero and his family. Why are they paying him by starving him, Mr. Speaker?
Thank you. Honourable Minister for Internal Affairs.
Right, Honourable Speaker, I'm not a clown. But I want to respond to the Honourable Ssemujju's concerns, especially food, which is a basic right, and I want to say that the family of Dr. Besigye have credited 6 people, and it's only those that are allowed to bring food. We can't extend beyond that one for security reasons. Number two, the place where Dr. Besigye meets visitors is the accredited place for other people to meet visitors. And you speak from a handset, by intercom, and that is universal practice. That's what I want to.
But it's not right to lie. the Honorable Mujiti is here. We went and met Dr. Besigye, even spoke to him. This speaking behind the grass is a new thing. Maybe you don't go to prison. We keep visiting people you have arrested. I was in Kitale, I was in Kivu. I have never spoken to anyone behind the grasses, Moz. Maybe you live in heaven.
Practice, is it a new? I haven't been to Ruzira, so I can't speak from it,
Honorable Speaker, what I want to bring out is that it's not targeting Dr. Besigye. It's not discriminating against him. It applies to all the inmates.
So now that's a practice. Yeah, so honorable colleagues, if they have the way now they are handling prisoners, and it's for all prisoners, now here, what should I do in the crowd? No, I really, colleagues, please. I avoid the situation where we just continue on something rotating. Now, the person, the Honorable Minister in charge of prisons, he has told you that this is how they are treating all prisoners. If there are prisoners who are being treated differently, okay, also it's a matter we should come and handle. But for now, this is not a matter you can resolve on this floor. Okay? Honorable Minister's submission has been very clear, and I don't think I can go beyond that. Honorable Zumra.
In Obongi. Last year in October, a hippopotamus attacked a man called Sunday Dodo in Kenya village. The gentleman was in his field harvesting his crops, and the hippo came out of the river to come and attack him and broke his leg. And the man was hospitalized in Moyo General Hospital for 1 month. Of January, a man by the names Modesta from Iwafa Sub-County, Atimari East Village, Iwafa Parish, was again attacked by a hippo that came from the water and attacked him at the landing site because the man is a fisherman. He went fishing. When he came back, landing at the landing site, the hippo attacked him. The young people of Obongi have a association called Obongi Vegetable Growers, where they plant greens, they plant watermelon, cabbages, and all their crops were destroyed by the hippo. So my prayers are that the young people who are growing vegetable and their crops are being destroyed, I am seeking the Ministry of Disaster to help them with seeds, whereby they can also plant it again, and Ministry of Agriculture. Secondly, my second prayer is that OWA should intervene into that matter. Because we don't have a field office for OWA in Obongi, the field office we have is in Adjumani. Whenever such matters happen, hospital and are being meaning he has become so far a disabled man who can no longer be resourceful in his family. I am also praying that OWA should come into rescue of these people who have been affected by the hippo, because they are going treatment and they also have other things to do, and the OWA people are not responding to.
Thank you. From water under which ministry?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. First, we want to say sorry for the people who have been affected out of the conflict between human beings and animals. Just inform this House that the Minister of Tourism will be informed, if they have not been informed, in a short time, so that they can follow up on that matter and see what can be addressed. Regarding the disaster, the Minister of Disaster is here. I do not know whether that is within your jurisdiction, but we also know that there is some resources for compensation under the Ministry of Tourism for people who are affected by conflict like that. I thank you.
Yes, but Honourable Minister, because if who has not been responding, maybe the police should be able to help coordinate. Honourable Minister, for disaster preparedness, we need seedlings.
Doesn't supply seedlings. However, I will coordinate with my counterpart, the Minister for Agriculture. Maybe they'll be able to address. What we can do as Minister of Disaster is that if we have people in that community affected, a big number, the COW can provide a report and request for relief food items and non-food items, and we'll be able to provide. I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable Nathan Byanyima.
I have one important case, but I would want to advise. Much as you are talking about the budget, I am at a loss. When all these members don't have copies of budget framework paper, they don't have it. They don't. You can't read that book on iPad. You are supposed to have a copy so that if I'm in works, I can look at the water, I look at the electricity, and we compare notes. Those copies should be available to each member. 2, since rationalization, our roads are in a bad state. Not because of the minister or the ministry, but because of money. Have an emergency money for the roads. If you still need these members to come back here, roads must be working. And the minister must be, the minister must be. Relax on it. You can relax on anything, but not on the roads. I have already said here that, for example, people are looking for places for their children in private schools, and people will go to school. Health people, you can go to health centers, private ones, but for roads, it is government, the mandate of government. Money must be available to the roads. You have seen a number of roads, for example. People who come from Uganda, a road was done a few years ago, but because of lack of maintenance, it's no more. The moment you don't require a road, it requires full rehabilitation. So I think this parliament, we must what is done to Karachi. Some of us said never knew about Karachi. But that one was very important going to Jinja. Currently, there is no maintenance on the road. Even people who take a shortcut can no longer go there because of the what? The bad road. Even Maverick itself needs reconstruction because of lack of maintenance. So I pray to you, Mr. Speaker, that you resolve that money should be available to Minister of Works, and because there is no machine in this country now on Uganda roads.
Thank you.
So I feel that we should do something in order to save members of parliament and save the country. I thank you.
Honourable Minister, the General is here himself.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I want to thank Honourable Byanyima for raising this matter. Unfortunately, on the bench, the Minister of Finance is not here. This is a matter which is on his desk. We have raised the red flag because I've also even appealed that we should not start new projects because even the ones we are running are not being properly funded. So I think it's a matter which Minister of Finance will have to talk to. But as of now, I have the energy, I have the drive, but I don't have the means. Thank you.
Thank you. Honourable Minister, if we complete the process of transferring to the funds under RAPEX, you think that will, is it the one delaying them from what they are telling you, or even now they can give you money?
Honourable Speaker, if I may say, as UNRWA is coming to the ministry, we are inheriting a debt of about 1.3 trillion alone. That's from UNRWA.
Now, if we don't retire that debt, then all the contracts which are running, most of the contractors have actually laid down their tools now. And that debt, it's not the first time we are talking about it. I've raised this even in my committee of infrastructure. Attracts on average about 280 million every day as interest. Now, two things must be done. One, retire that debt for the contractors to continue working. Two, move the votes, the money of the votes of UNRWA and Road Fund into the ministry. If we do that, then work will continue as usual. But just wanted to respond to Honorable Byanyuma. Karaji, I've put there now a unit. We have a unit which is working in Karaji. The one which worked in Mabira, we are doing something. We are not rehabilitating the whole road, but we are addressing the bad spots on Karaji, between Kayas and Karaji, just like what we did in Mabira.
So, Honorable colleagues, we transfer of money which was for entities affected by the rapids into, no, I mean the reports, because the motion which are under the motion. So on Thursday, I hope we can complete that process and we continue. But, Honourable Minister General, Honourable Minister, have you really proposed to maybe the minister to consider an infrastructure bond? Because it is much cheaper, and that's how other countries are doing. And for example, in Kenya, in fact, the infrastructure bond is exempted from tax, and it's very attractive, and they are getting money much cheaper. It's really painful to have contractors who are not paid. You're suffocating the banks. You're suffocating, you're killing our own. And then after killing this contractor, you call a new contractor because this one can no longer do any work. So also you refuse to pay that one, you attract another one. It's really. And in the end, we are blamed as parliament, but we are not appropriating money to this sector. So I hope we are going to work with you to ensure that, Honourable Minister, this issue is settled.
Speaker, I rise on the issue of the senior education officers in this country. In February 2020, there was an advert placed by the Education Service Commission inviting teachers to apply for position of senior education officer. A number of teachers applied, the shortlist was made, the interviews done, both oral and written, and the successful candidates were issued letters of appointment. Right Honourable Speaker, after issuing these teachers with letters of appointment by the Ministry of Education, they were actually posted to various schools. Some of the schools are actually in my district. But Right Honourable Speaker, what is shocking is that to date, these teachers were education officers at U4. Now, as senior education officers, they are supposed to earn U3 salary. To date, Right Honourable Speaker, these teachers have been moving in the corridors of Ministry of Education, Public Service, and they have never, their salaries have never been changed from the U4 to U3. So, Right Honourable Speaker, I want to find out from the Minister of Education, what exactly is going on? Why do you advertise, appoint, post, and then fail to give these teachers the salary that they actually deserve? I need answers, Right Honourable Speaker, from the Minister of Education over this matter. They've even written, I saw one of the
Honourable Minister.
Some time back was written.
Honourable Minister.
Well, first of all, Right Honourable Speaker, thank you so much, and I would like to begin by thanking my colleague for asking such a good question. I want to confirm in 2022, in terms of the implementation of the scheme of service, Education Service Commission did recruit 154 education officers. Right Honourable Speaker, after the recruitment of those teachers,
It is true they were meant to automatically qualify to earn U3 salary scale. I also want to confirm that during our interaction with the Minister of Public Service, we are working with them in terms of the availability of funds for us to pay those teachers in line with the appointment letters we issued to them. So I want to confirm to my colleague, the Minister of Education and Sports and Minister of Public Service are following up this matter urgently to resolve it and have these teachers paid. I thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker.
Yeah, but Honourable Minister, you know, to commit government without funds. And by issuing appointment letters, you committed government that these people, and this is a statutory obligation. It's not something for negotiating, robbing, and all that. So are you going to pay their arrears? Because...
I want to say the following. The officers were issued appointment letters and posting instructions, but there was no salary increment for the promoted staff. This arose out of the salary staffing structure, which are not being included. However, the Education Service Commission did include this in terms of the structure, and that is now where we are discussing with the Ministry of Public Service. And I want to confirm the following. That, Mr. Speaker, sir, you asked the question of arrears.
Please, let's give the Minister.
Mr. Speaker, sir, you asked the question of arrears. We all know it's an entitlement for all staff as long as you've been issued with appointment letter. So, you've worked, you have the appointment letter. Why shouldn't you be paid this arrears? That's money which these teachers are entitled to. What we are now following up is for us, with Ministry of Public Service, have this money properly budgeted and these teachers be paid. I thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Chair, Committee of Education, Minister of Public Service, appear and you make a sub-report to be part of the main report on this same matter.
Most obliged, Mr. Speaker, and them to come, so there is no cause of alarm. Order, please.
Honorable Johnson.
So, Mr. Speaker, sir, what I was informing the House that we have already rescheduled. We are beginning on 27 with the petitioners, the Minister of Education, the Minister of
No,
Public
I've added you another issue.
Yes.
Okay? The issue of teachers who were given appointment letters,
Yes.
but their salary was not adjusted to reflect the appointment they had given.
Thank you very
Okay?
much. Okay.
So please, track, you help extract it very well for that issue very well. Honorable Segumire.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, on escalating garbage management in the city. Right Honourable Speaker, if you move around the city, there is heaps, a lot of heaps in the city. Garbage heaps. Even they are blocking some roads in the city. I'd like Mr. Right Honourable Speaker, I would like the Minister of Kampala City, I'd like the Minister of Kampala to come and address this issue. Otherwise, please.
Not on matters of national importance. In our practice, Honorable colleague, matters of
Right
national
Honourable Speaker,
importance.
allow me read my prayers.
No, that has to be a submitted statement, and we upload it on the system.
Okay, Right Honourable Speaker.
You have the media head.
Right Honourable Speaker, I would like the Minister of Kampala to come and address this issue because it is escalating and it is a problem. It's blocking everywhere. You find roads in markets. I beg to submit, Right Honourable Speaker.
The matter is not only in Kampala, but it also affects the people of Wakiso and the neighborhood. Because when you look around right now, the tenders that were given to those in Kampala, right now they have contracted some officers or some LCs in Wakiso, whoever has a small portion can allow to dispose garbage there. So it's really a very big problem. And now to make matters worse, now local governments in Wakiso are no longer consulted.
And so, Mr. Speaker, when we're talking about garbage, we can't also forget that compensation for Chitezi people is still pending. That's also a matter that needs to be followed
Thank you.
up.
So I will ask the Minister for Kampala, finally.
Right Honourable Speaker, thank you very much. Right Honourable Speaker, I want to raise an issue of national contents where there is a government policy that and every sub-county there should be a government-aided secondary school. In Buchimbiri, we have 4 sub-counties and we don't have secondary schools government-aided. Secondly, now we find that yesterday they released a list of 3 secondary schools. Now the point which is asking, what is the criteria and what is the qualification of one school becoming a city school? Because you find in some districts you find one district having about 5 or 2 schools, city schools, when in other areas we don't have. I would wish the minister to put it clear when the government will implement the policy of a secondary school in each sub-county and the qualifications for one to qualify or not qualify for a city school, because it has become for either politics or who knows who. I thank you.
Honourable Minister, we find another one has 0. What was the criteria of choosing?
First of all, I entirely want to concur with the submission of Honourable Kwizera on one part. It is true it's the policy of government to have a state secondary school per sub-county across the country. It is also true that as the Ministry of Education and Sports, we are undertaking construction of a number of secondary schools across the country. And some of you colleagues can attest for yourself because these constructions are taking place in your respective sub-counties. In terms of the lists which appeared in the newspaper yesterday, Right Honourable Speaker, I want to say the following. I cannot deny nor confirm, but permit me to bring the official list to this House so that it is a list I own as the Minister responsible for education and sport. Thereafter, I will answer questions specific on how I went to Kachumbala, I went to Ruchiga, I went to Moyo, I went to Kasanda. I will answer when I have the list with me once my statement is ready. I thank you.
Honourable Minister, when do you want to bring that list?
Right Honourable Speaker, can I do it on Thursday, sir?
Okay.
I thank
Thursday
you.
tomorrow. Thursday granted.
Yes, thank you so much.
Next item.